So I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Google Summer of Code program. I participated in it last year, and what it is kind of just like RCOS, but by Google. So you pick a project, and then you work on it, and you get paid for it. RCOS by Google. Cool. So like I said, I participated last summer. I know other people in here did, so I guess if you also participated either last summer or past summers, I guess stand up and say what project you worked on.
Oh. Wait, am I the only one? Really? Well, I did NMath my freshman year. So there's like a security scanner. All of the freshmen and sophomores who do it, because they'll actually pay you. And you might be screwed for internships. It's like 5,000?
It's 5,000 for the summer.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's pretty good,
So this is a really misaligned screenshot of what I worked on in some more detail because I have a different presentation. So I guess how popular is it? How many people do it? So it's a global program. So people from all over the world and all universities apply to it. Last year there were 6,000 proposals submitted by about 4,100 students, and 1,200 of those were accepted. And there was 177 different mentoring organizations. These mentoring organizations are like pretty popular places. So ones that are happening this year made a really janky compilation of some. So this obviously isn't comprehensive. This is just ones that I felt like Googling and getting screenshots of. So obviously these are some of the more popular ones I saw, like Tor, Fedora, FreeBSD, GCC in the corner there, like Mozilla, things like that. I don't know why Twitter's on there. But, so there's 190 total for this year. There's a big listing, that's a link to it. So click on that later. So what's it like? Well, it's pretty simple. You just kind of write code. You can do it from wherever. I mean, you can go buy an apartment somewhere if you want. You can do it from home. It's just like remote. I guess the only thing that you really have to do is like mentoring organization specific. So at least for me, I had bi-weekly Google Hangout meetings with my mentor and another developer on the project. And we just kind of talked about like what I did the last 2 weeks, planned for the next 2 weeks ahead. And then we just kind of hung out on IRC. And then whenever I had like a specific question, I just ping them on IRC and we talk about it for a little bit. If things got too detailed, we hop on the Hangout for a little while and talk about the problem. As far as details go, so for the code, if you're one of those, if you're worried about copyrighting your code, that is like up to the organization. But a lot of the times they'll let you keep your copyright. At least I know, like when I work on Dr. Memory and Dynamo Rio through RCOS, Google maintains the copyright. I set my rights away for that. But for Google Summer of Code, my name was on everything. Even though that's not too important because it's open source, so you have a commit history. So they're like, oh, I wrote this code, look at the commit history. After that, have your name on the top of the file or whatever. So timeline, applications are opening soon, and I guess closing pretty soon too. So I guess Monday's the 10th? Yeah, something like that. And then they close 2 weeks from now. And then I guess late April, they announce who actually got accepted. And then there's a little timeline of the summer down there. So how they do it is you're not an actual Google employee, it's kind of like contract work. So you won't be getting a W-2, you'll be getting it's like a 1099 desk form.
Yeah.
So I think the tax rate for that, at least federally, is 12%. And then I don't know, I guess state depends. It's the state is wherever you work from. So if you work from home and you live in Mass, you pay Mass income tax. If you live in New Hampshire like me, you don't pay income tax. Yeah. So at the beginning of the program, you're accepted. They give you $500 to start, and then you code for a while. You're doing your thing with a mentor organization, and then halfway through, there's a mentor evaluation, which is pretty much just is your mentor happy with you or you being a jerk. There's no really formal thing to it. Based on our part, the mentor's part, maybe they have to do something. I'm not sure. But as long as you're committing code, you're talking with their mentors, you can tell them not angry with you, you should be fine. And then they pay you $22.50, and then at the end, same deal, but final evaluation, and they pay you again. So the downside to that is kind of there's a gap in the middle where you're not really having any source of income, and then you get this giant lump sum in the middle. one thing that's nice about this year as opposed to last year is it's all shifted back a month. So this actually starts like right after finals, whereas last year it was a month after finals, and it actually overlapped in September a little bit. So it was kind of a pain in trying to work on the project and have school for the first month. So this time it ends right before school and starts right after, which is nice. So how do you apply? So go on that big list of organizations that I found, search around for what you might be interested in. If you're interested in web stuff, I saw Ruby on Rails was there. If you're interested in like lower levels like compiler stuff, GCC was there. If you're interested, like your favorite desktop environments, Fedora was there. Desktop environment, sorry, OS. Later, KDE was on there too, but I didn't put their logo up. So obviously you have to write a proposal. The mentor isn't going to write a proposal for you. Basically the same thing as RCOS. You have an idea. Ways that you can get ideas are the issue trackers. Since these are all open source projects, they usually have an issue tracker. You can go on, submit bugs, look at bugs, search around. So try to find an issue that you were interested in and that may take you a while, or maybe feature requests that the organization has on their website. Other things that are nice to look at too are a lot of projects will have labels on their different issues. And one of them is good contrib, good commit, good first bug. Those are a lot of things that are nice to look at because you're not going to be too familiar with the project going into it for the first time. And things like KDE or Fedora have large code bases. Highlighted in red, contact someone. So if you haven't been hanging out in IRC or email chatting with the people, your proposal, you don't really know what they're looking for. So as far as projects go, timelines, proposal format, you don't know what the organization is going to look for unless you talk to them and ask them. So see what they're looking for in someone for a Google Summer of Code student. Like I said before, IRC is perfect. A lot of the organizations have a channel on Freenode. You can just join the channel and say, hey, I want to do Google Summer of Code this summer, thinking about your project. What do you guys have in mind as far as projects? Do you have a specific projects page I can go and look at and pick from? And you can kind of mold your proposal based on their needs and your project wants and things like that. As far as once you have your proposal and you're working on it, you log in to the Google Summer of Code 2014 page, click My Dashboard and go to the proposals window, and you can add a proposal. And that isn't final until the deadline. So you can go on, you can update your proposal as many times as you want, all the way up until the deadline. And other mentors, either from the organization you're looking at or someone who's just really nice, can go on and review your proposal and leave comments on it. So a few examples of that. So we have the issue tracker. So label, good first bug. There's a couple here. Support recently added Linux syscalls. You guys read that? Is that too small?
Too small.
How's that? Sweet. So just searching on our issue tracker for good first bug comes up with a couple different things you can use. Add STL using tests. Another label that we have is good contrib. So just mainly project things versus bugs. So I want here for this one. Create Windows X leaks on Win8. Add Umbra tests. It's a shadow feature that Document uses. There's more of these. I guess there's 43 of these. So a lot of projects will have things like this. And you can go on and just kind of scour through the page. Pick one that you like or pick a couple that you like, and then add that to your timeline and your goal set as part of your proposal. Also, for Dr. Memory, we have a suggested projects page. And sometimes, because of the Google Summer of Code, they're looking for students, and they want students to be interested, and they want to make it easier for the students to join the project and commit code, because at least a lot of you who have your own project want people to work on it. So we have a short list here on the page. So Dr. Memory integration with Visual Studio. There's some parts to it. Pick one or all parts as prereqs. So it's a C++ programming, maybe familiarity with the IDE, also Enter, synonyms. Just some more things. Some of them require x86 architecture and assembly knowledge. System call tracing on Windows. Then this page too. And so that was kind of our short form. And we also have this long form, which is just a wiki type page with a giant list of things that people can go on and just select from. Any questions about Google Summer of Code, projects in Dr. Memory, like how I liked it, how to get involved more? Yes.
So I guess, where's the list of organizations?
Okay, so they have their own page, and I linked it. So on this page, full listing, that link. Organizations. I guess they don't like IE at all? No, they don't. Anyways, there's a little box here. And it has a search bar, like some filters, and like sorting by like name or type or whatever. I think there's 4 pages, so I guess there's 190 there. Yeah, that's about 50 per page-ish. About 50 pages. Don't know why. Can't do it. Only.
I think they loaded via JavaScript.
Huh?
They loaded via JavaScript, so you're screwed.
All right. Yeah. So I guess go look at that on your computer without ID. I'll post this. I'll link to the slide deck on the blog for Dynamo projects, so you can go on and then just click on any of the links if you're interested, so you don't have to remember them. But also, if you just Google Google Summer of Code 2013 or 2014, sorry. (2014). Cool. It's first link. It's right there. I guess Google probably biased their own page. And then also I linked on the questions page, the fact page. So they have things like about Google Summer of Code, like I guess how many mentoring organizations, what is it, timeline, they have like a timeline listing, like as far as due dates go, like when programming is, like when the evaluations are, applying, so a bunch of listing, like frequently asked questions and applying, probably interested in tax information, but they legally can't tell you because they're not tax people, so they don't really answer that question. Mentoring organizations, these are mostly just ask your mentoring organization as far as the answer goes on like every single one. Eligibility, code, same thing, payments. So yeah, nice fact page. So any other questions? Yes.
How did you like find out about Dr. Memory and like get involved?
So I found out about Dr. Memory last fall when Sean Denbo was like, I'm working on this, and like the first RCOS meeting, a tiny little room with like 20 people in it. And I was like, oh, cool, I want to do something like lower level. So I followed him and asked him, and then contacted Derek, and then like playing with it around ever since. Other questions? Cool.
I guess we finished before the pizza.
Oh. I think it came up 30 seconds ago.
Oh, okay.
So thank you, Derek, for bringing the